Hello and welcome to Box Park on the famous Wembley Way, tantalisingly close to the famous old stadium where the competition final will take place on August 24th, and just a drop kick away from that statue of the 5 Wembley legends. And we cannot wait for this. It's the draw for the 5th round of the Coral Challenge Cup, and the stage, of course, where we find the 3 Super League teams who ended up at the bottom end of the table last year, and newly promoted London Broncos as well. And we've got one amateur team left in the competition as well, Thato Heath Crusaders, after their fabulous win against North Wales this last weekend. And 2 very special guests as well to help us make the draw tonight. Lindsay Prescott, wife of the late great Steve Prescott MBE, and still doing fantastic work with the Steve Prescott Foundation. We'll be hearing more of that in just a second. And Martin of Fire MBE, whose try in 1994 not only has a Wembley bar named after it, but also that famous bronze statue to immortalise his celebration forever and ever. Right, we've already seen some fantastic action this last weekend in the 4th round, of course. As we mentioned, Thato Heath with that giant-killing win against North Wales. Highlights of that in just a moment. But before that, what about Bradford's nervous and tense victory against the Keithley Cougars?
On their own goal line here, Millian out the back, it goes to Miller. Shipped on again as Maranka has a dig. Just held up. Luke Millian's turn to feed it again. They'll go through. It's Buster Feather. James Buster Feather has given Keithley the lead, and you can feel the energy from the stands at Cougar Park. I was just about to say, enough of that now. Andy Gilder on Twitter says, are Bradford going to regret not converting pressure into points? Yes, they are, I think. Good crowd today, says Paul Wright. Great to see Cougar Mania giving them a good game. Not just a good game, they're in front, aren't they, as Hardcastle extends it to 6. 6 points to 0. Minchella whizzes it to that left. This time it is the kick from Milnes. It's going to go in towards that goal line. It was almost dragged in. It was dragged in, was it? By Ethan Ryan. Has he scored? Yes, he has. Bradford have a big score. Closing in on the break. Back within 2. And it's Ethan Ryan on Keithley's turf. Elliot Minchella looking to sweep that forward. I don't know whether that tells you a little about the conditions at Cougar Park today. Magrin tries to turn, tries to clatter, and he's well held up in the end. They're looking to fall him, but he can't be chopped down there. It's another scoop from Flanagan. Oh, he's going to be held up over the line, and you can hear the chants from the Bradford fans. No, he's got it down. Oh, he scored. Well, it looked as though he'd been held up, but George Flanagan, under the pile of bodies, has squeezed that down, and Keithley's resistance has finally ebbed. And no mistake for Minchella. 10 points to 6. Busting now inside the 20. Flanagan went for the little trip over there. Another player in the ruck. It will be a penalty, as Minchella just drives it through from close in, and that is now a converted score lead at 12 points to 6. And just a little insurance policy perhaps there for Bradford, knowing just how dangerous Keithley have been in this game. He'll be feeling it after this one, no doubt. As Miller hoists up the kick, Ryan underneath it, he's beaten to it! Oh, that's beautiful! Absolutely beautiful! Alfie Seeley, I think that was, who got the ball, and Keithley have scored a massive try. Back within 2, a brilliant leap, Tommy Makinson-esque. Sensational from Keithley. They are back within 2, and boy, we have a cup tie. A pretty reliable boot on him. Has clubbed it through, and we have parity here, and you can see what it means to the people of Keithley. Keithley committing men to the tackle. Will Cook down in the ruck there. Oh. Penalty. So Minchella will take the chance to take the 2. 5th and last. Flanagan to have a go himself. But again, Keithley do enough, and there rings out the hooter, and Keithley, they have been brave, they have been spirited, they've committed, and they have contributed so much to this Challenge Cup tie, but it's Bradford who progress. They've beaten Keithley by 14 points to 12.
And he's going to try and go on his own and burrow over on his own. Has he got there, Lewis Foster? He has. Last tackle. What can they find here? Looks to go on his own again. It's going to be a walk-in try. Or is he held up?
Tackle, that is.
Connor Dwyer thought he'd scored, and that was it. Oh, it is a try. Defence, they're organised and resolute. And North Wales try and barge over from dummy half, and I think they might have scored here. It was a power play from the winger.
We spoke earlier about the setup at Battery. It's a fantastic facility.
What a charge down. Now where's this going to go? Has it been picked up cleanly? If that's play on, this is a try for Thato Heath and Matty Norton underneath the post. The referee looks happy with this. They celebrate the score, and what a huge moment that could be in the game. The try is awarded.
And how Matty Norton got underneath that ball, I'll never know.
Another opportunity though. Quick restart, lovely little shuffle out of the back door. Steve gives the ball some room, and now the gaps open up on that far side, and it is a score for North Wales Crusaders. To Baker, they're right in front of the post. They can almost taste the whitewash on the paint, and Earlhurst gets the ball away, and they're going to get in this corner. It's the winger for his second of the game, Robert Massam. It's a try awarded in the last minute. As tough as they come, it's around about 5-6 metres in from this near touchline. There's hushed silence. Here he goes, he struck it really well. It's fading, and it's faded, and he has missed it. And it's a 2-point lead still. What the decision? Yes.
That's full time.
Oh, there's the hooter. Are they going to get the scrum down and play? No, they're not. They couldn't have that last play. That could have been the moment. And so fine are the margins. The hooter's gone and the game is over. And Thato Heath Crusaders have done something they've never done before. And they are through to round five of the Coral Challenge Cup.
So congratulations to the Bradford Bulls for squeezing through, and also to Thato Heath Crusaders and everyone else who won in that fourth round as well. And Lindsay, I know that you've got very close connections with Thato Heath, so you've got your instructions for tonight, and it'll be very fair, don't worry about it. But also the Steve Prescott Foundation continues to go from strength to strength. So tell us what you've got planned this year.
We've got 3 major events coming up this year. The first one being the Challenge Wembley, which is a repeat mission of what Stephen did in 2009, where my eldest son will lead that team, and they'll be cycling 900 miles through France, 26-mile dragon boat up the River Thames, and a half marathon into Wembley for the Coral Challenge Cup final, where Taylor will place the match ball down in time for kick-off like his dad did. Fantastic.
I could see Martin O'Fire wincing at the background of the sheer effort of it. You carry Steve's name on a weekly basis as well, don't you? Because you're a judge for the Steve Prescott Man of Steel.
Yeah, I've spent a few enjoyable afternoons down watching the Broncos this season, and I'm sure Danny Ward will be really happy the way that they've attacked Super League. They've been competitive in every game, and got over the line in a couple of them.
So who's caught the eye this year?
I think the whole squad have been playing well. Jordan Abdul, Eddie Batty. But a player I've been particularly impressed with is Alex Walker. He's been solid in defence. He looks special in attack when he comes on a ball out wide and hits a gap. Scored a showstopper at the weekend, and he's a player. If he keeps developing, he could be an international class player.
Okay, fantastic. Right, good. Right, let's get to the draw. Before we do, remind ourselves of the numbers and some of the significant numbers there as well. The Super League teams at the moment: Hull Kingston Rovers, number 7; Leeds, number 8. We've also got Salford, who are number 12, and the London Broncos, who are number 10. 1 or 2 cheers in the background. You could be a bit more enthusiastic than that if you're like, hey! Quite right too. And of course, Thato Heath Crusaders, who'll be cheering from a distance because they are they're here as well. They got the late train. They are the only surviving community or amateur team left at this round of the competition. So, without any further ado, let's have the draw. Lindsay's going to be drawing the home teams, and Martin the away teams. And a quick squeeze of the bag to make sure there's no balls hidden in there. So that's good. Lindsay, the draw.
Number 7.
Number 7, that's Hull Kingston Rovers. So straight away, Super League team comes out.
Better get this right. Number 9.
And they will be playing number 9, Lee Centurions. Winners back in 1971, long time between drinks. Number 14 is Widnes.
Oh.
So in the championship this year, Cup Kings in the 80s when Martin was there.
Number 16.
And they'll be playing number 16, York City Knights, who of course went out last year to the eventual winners, Catalan Dragons.
Number 13.
Number 13 is Thatto Heath Crusaders. Who've they got? A home tie for the amateur team. Who've they got?
Number 3.
They'll be playing Dewsbury Rams. So Dewsbury of the championship. First finalists in 1929.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Leeds Rhinos. So Headingley, the new revamped Emerald Headingley, gets its first Challenge Cup tie. Go on, Martin.
No, I won't take that one.
Don't leave us in suspense.
Number 15.
They'll be playing against Workington Town. So Leeds against Workington Town of League One. Workington, of course.
Number 6.
Number 6 is Halifax. Halifax, who won it back in 1987. Home tie for them at the Shea.
Number 10.
And they will be up against London Broncos. You're cheering. I'm not sure if you're meant to be cheering there, but London are out. They're away at Halifax.
Number 2.
Number 2 is Bradford Bulls. So that nervy win against Keithley earns them. And John Keir, a home tie.
Number 5.
And they'll be playing against Featherstone Rovers. So an all-championship tie there. Bradford against Featherstone Rovers. That'll be a good one.
Number 12.
Number 12 is Salford Red Devils. So home as well for the Super League team.
Number 11.
And they'll be up against number 11, Rochdale Hornets. So Salford against Rochdale. Should be 2 balls left.
Number 4.
One of which is 4. League One, Doncaster at home 2.
Number 1.
Number 1, the Batley Bulldogs. So Doncaster against the Batley Bulldogs. Thank you to you two. Thank you very much indeed for that draw. Let's just remind ourselves as to where those ties have come out. And those ties, of course, will be played on the 12th, 13th and 14th. And they are like this. Hulkingston Rovers against Lee. Widnes against York. Thatto Heath Crusaders. The amateur team against Dewsbury. Leeds against Workington. Halifax against London. Bradford against Featherstone. Salford against Rochdale. And last but not least, Doncaster against the Batley Bulldogs. And a man alongside me has a bit of emotional attachment to the Batley Bulldogs, Danny Ward, but these days very much emotionally attached to the London Broncos. What about that tie away at Halifax?
Yeah, that's all right. That's how one of them, and it's a cup. Everyone who's in that round deserves to be there, and it's going to be a tough game. I thought when we got promoted, I'd seen the back of my fat mate Scott Manell, but yeah, it looks like we're going to go back and see him. So yeah, it's one of them, and it's a good tie. It's going to be a tough one, but one we'll look forward to.
And it's a tough time of the year because it's the week before the Easter period, isn't it? So that's going to be a really testing time for your team.
Yeah, it's obviously it's a tough time of year, is it, Easter one, but we only take one game as it comes, so we'll prepare best we can for the Challenge Cup and then tackle Easter straight after.
And when you looked at that fixture list at the start of the year and you saw the names of Wigan and Leeds and you think that you'd got wins against them by this stage, how chuffed would you have been?
Yeah, we'd have taken that. We'd have taken it. It's the challenges that come at us every week. These big games. We got Warrington this week away from home. Another massive challenge, but it's exciting. That's when it sunk in when the fixture list came out and we saw them big names in there. And it's great to be back in Super League and testing yourself each week against some of the best teams in the game.
And just tell us a bit about, here we are in London, we've got Wembley just up the road from here, literally 100 yards. Tell us about rugby league in London. It's a city that's produced some great players in recent years. What's the health of it like at the moment?
It's really good. There's a lot of teams playing down here. There are a lot of juniors, a lot of volunteers who are giving the time up and are passionate about the game. It's just such a big area. It's such a huge area. But us at the Broncos are giving lads a pathway to kick on and play at Super League level as well. And we've seen some quality players come through the ranks over the years. Some who are playing the trade to the other Super League clubs. So it's pretty healthy at the minute, and we want to continue helping that grow.
Danny, thanks very much. Good luck in the Cup. Good luck in the Super League as well. That's as far as we go. Good luck to everyone who's involved in that 5th round of the Coral Challenge Club. But for the time being, very good evening to you.